Hello again, whiskey friends. It's Kelsey here in the Whiskey Wrist Lounge. Thanks for coming back with us. If you're new to the channel, make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe and help us grow the channel for 2023. Thank you guys for all the support. Today, we're going to jump in right away to a review that has come out a little bit of while, but it just hitting the area here, which is Blood Oath number 9. This is their sherry finished bourbon. Contains 12 year and 7 years whiskey in it. So let's get right into the review. Let's get the show started. Welcome back, guys. Thanks so much for joining in. Thank again for all of our patrons and everybody who's watching and all the support, man. We really appreciate it. Today, we're going to be talking about Blood Oath. This is coming from Lux Row. It's been their 9th selection of this particular offering. Every year, they kind of do a different finished offering. This year's is going to be finished in Oloroso sherry cask at 98.6 proof. It does have 12-year-old and 7-year-old whiskey in it. So let's get right to the nose and let's check this out. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for joining along. So right up front, vanilla, a little bit of sweet oak, not a whole lot. Just even though it's 12 years old, it doesn't really come across super old. A little bit of the sherry influence on it up front, but overall, baking spices, vanilla. There's a little bit of an odd note that I can't put my finger on just yet. So let's jump into the palate and see if that helps me kind of pick out what I'm smelling as well. Cheers here to the front of the palate. Okay. So sweet up front. You get a lot of the sherry influence on the front of the palate. A little bit of nut flavor on that. It's not like a peanut, maybe more of a walnut, but it's sweet and it just hits right up front. And there's not a whole lot there. That's pretty thin up front. Let's see if the middle of the palate changes at all. Not a whole lot of change. I mean, really, this thing is real thin. I mean, it's like as soon as you taste it, it's gone. The flavors that are there are nice. What's interesting to me is the sweetness in the mid palate goes away pretty fast. And then into the finish, the oak becomes a little drying and a little bit bitter. So I'm thinking that's probably the sherry influence creating that drying. It's not overly dry. You get a little bit of that drying factor, which is to be expected from a finished whiskey. Again, going back to the nose, I get a little bit more baking spices after having tasted it a couple times. Cinnamon, maybe a little bit of clove, not a whole lot, but just a hint. Maybe even a little bit of anise on that. Off the nose after tasting it. Let's go in for the finish. Let's see if this thing improves a little on the finish. So again, pretty thin. It does envelop a little bit more the more that you drink. Kind of builds on your palate a little bit more, some of those flavors. But for the most part, everything is real fast. I mean, it's hits you with the spice and sweet up front, then goes to the mid palate, and the finish has gone pretty fast. Not a lot there. I will say the flavors that are there are nice. It's not off-putting in any way. It's just I wish that there was more to it. It's not overly complex. It's about 3 to 4 notes that come through consistently from front to back. We'll get into the score in just a minute. I want to give a shout out to Aaron Hodges. Thank you, buddy, for letting me try this and use your bottle for review. Appreciate it so much. Now, he and I have both tasted 6, 7, 8, and 9. I have to say that this one is probably my least favorite out of the 4 that I've tasted. And what's interesting is he and I both kind of agreed on this. We both love sherry finished whiskeys, and this one was a big disappointment for what we were expecting and for the price point. But let's go ahead and break this one down and see how this kind of played out. We've got a flavor score of 65, an experience score of 62, and a value score of 50. Now, why I scored this so low is because for $110, $115, this thing should be really coming across pretty strong as far as the flavor experience and all of that. The flavor notes and the experience itself were very disappointing for me. And the value score, I mean, you're paying $110. You should be getting a lot more than that for $110. Now, you are paying for some packaging. It comes in a real nice wooden box, but come on, really, we're wanting this to taste like it should. And to me, this doesn't really taste like it should, in my opinion. Do I recommend this? Is about a 5 out of a 10. Do I plan to buy another one? Obviously, I didn't buy this one, so no, I'm not buying one. Aaron was gracious enough to let me borrow his. So both of us were just a little bit disappointed with how this one turned out. If you guys have gotten this and tasted it and disagree with me, leave those comments down below. I'd love to hear what you liked about it for the quality versus what you're paying. I think there's a lot better finished whiskeys out there. I can think of one right off the bat that's $50 that kills this, and it's Bull Run finished in Pinot. It's like $55-$60, and it just is a killer finished whiskey compared to this. There's a whole lot of other ones that just have a lot more going on complexity wise for the price point. So with that, I'm going to leave you to it. Guys, thanks so much. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Come join us on Wednesday nights live. We're doing bottle giveaways, all kinds of fun stuff, and appreciate all the support from our patrons. Guys, we'll see you next time right here in the Whiskey Riff Lounge. We'll talk to you soon.